He wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now,
like online, because that's really what it is. It's the photographs and stuff come through the feed.
Right.
And I was like, what? Like, because she had like.
Yeah, because she did put it out
stuck
there.
under the bed, like the booty's up in the air with her head stuck under the bed.
but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing.
Welcome back to Juicy Pulse, your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Let's spill the tea on today's biggest celebrity stories. Not 50 Cent out here leaking some wild exclusive footage that Terrence Howard supposedly sent him. Footage tied to one of Diddy's freaky private parties. Yep. Terrence is finally breaking his silence, and the tea he's spilling is straight up boiling. For years, Terrence has been hinting that he got pushed out of the game for refusing to play by Hollywood's shady rulebook. But now, with Diddy's name in the spotlight again, Terrence is airing it all out. And let's be clear, Diddy ain't the only name getting dragged. He even took a little aim at Young Miami, and what he's claiming she was caught doing on camera, it's messier than you could even picture. Allegedly, she was right there at those infamous freak-offs, and Terrence says the footage shows exactly what went down. And trust, it's way wilder than anything folks have been whispering about behind closed doors. This ain't just rumors anymore, it's receipts. But here's the gag. Nobody even knew Terrence had dirt on Diddy. Then boom, out of nowhere, he pops up on this podcast and just starts unloading years' worth of secrets like he's been waiting for this exact moment. No warning, no promo, just pure shock factor. And the way he described his own run-ins with Diddy, it sounds eerily similar to what other celebs have hinted at for years. Whatever's going on behind those VIP doors, it's starting to come to light piece by piece, and Terrence just lit the match. So, let's talk about this strange little situation. Terrence Howard says Diddy hit him up, claiming he needed help with his acting. Yeah, acting. Now, we all know Diddy's popped up in a few roles here and there, but come on. It's not like he's out here gunning for an Oscar. Why would he be reaching out to Terrence of all people for coaching? According to Terrence, he showed up thinking it was just a regular business thing. Strictly professional. But once he got there, the vibe shifted real quick. Terrence says Diddy started acting funny, like he had something else in mind that had nothing to do with acting. But Terrence wasn't with it. Not even a little. He shut it down immediately, no hesitation, and it gets crazier. Terrence didn't just tell his side of the story. He claimed he wasn't the only one who Diddy tried this with. Allegedly, Diddy was making slick moves on every man who walked into his parties. Yep, every single one. Terrence said those parties were so wild, dudes were out there losing their man cards, left and right. Whatever was going down behind those private doors, Terrence is making it sound like a whole other world, and he made it crystal clear he wasn't going to be part of it. It ain't safe, it ain't safe. And judging by what's coming out, nobody's really safe at Diddy's parties. It's giving shady, messy, and downright weird. But here's the thing. This ain't even Terrence Howard's first time hinting at how twisted things get in Hollywood. He's been saying for years that he got blackballed for not playing the Hollywood game. Yup. Terrence didn't just fade out because he was tired or couldn't land roles. He straight up said the industry was trying to strip him of his manhood. And when he refused to go along with it, suddenly, he became the problem. He opened up years ago about how his career took a turn the moment he stood his ground. Hollywood, according to him, wanted him to play a part off-camera too, something that didn't sit right with him. And when he wouldn't bow down, the machine turned on him fast. They started labeling him difficult, acting like he was unstable, and painting him out as the villain. It's the same tired script they've used against women in the game. Speak out, and suddenly, you're the crazy one. So when he announced his retirement from acting in December 2022, people were shook. Fans were confused. He was still getting roles, still had a strong fan base, and there was no obvious drama going on. No major scandal, no messy headlines. But behind the scenes, according to Terrence, it was a whole different story. He says the pressure to play along with the shady side of the industry got too real, and rather than lose himself in it, he walked away. Terrence said the industry tried to make him do things that felt like they were meant to strip away his manhood, and when he pushed back and stood firm, Hollywood didn't like that one bit. Next thing you know, he was iced out, blacklisted, just like that. Now, he did eventually step out of retirement, but he's been moving real cautious ever since. And one thing about Terrence, he's not holding his tongue anymore. Since stepping back into the scene, he's been pulling the curtain all the way back on what he claims is the darker, shadier side of the entertainment game. One major thing he keeps bringing up, the pressure to wear a dress on set, something he was never down with. Terrence said he stood 10 toes down and refused, especially when the scene had nothing to do with the story. According to him, it felt like they were just trying to humiliate him or chip away at who he was as a man. And here's the twist. This ain't just his story. Other actors have said the same. Over the years, plenty of black male stars have come forward, saying they were pushed to wear dresses in scenes or skits where it didn't even make sense. It's not a new topic. Cat Williams said the same thing during an interview with Kleb Shehi. So maybe Terrence isn't exaggerating. Maybe he's just one of the few with the guts to speak on it loud. Cat Williams didn't hold back when he opened up about Hollywood's obsession with emasculating men. He said straight up, "It's way more common than people realize." According to him, the pressure to wear dresses or act overly feminine to chip away at a man's masculinity doesn't come by itself. It usually shows up with a big fat check attached. Tempting, right? But Cat said he's turned down serious money just to protect his integrity. That's when Terrence Howard jumped into the convo quick. He wasn't about to let that moment slide without dropping his own truth. And what he said? It made a lot of people take a second look. You remember all those headlines spinning years ago? Talking about Terrence having a bad temper, being too difficult on set, and that's why he got dropped from big roles? Yeah, well, according to him, that was all cap. After Cat's interview made waves, Terrence slid in and shut those rumors down. He made it crystal clear. He didn't get replaced for being hard to work with. He got replaced because he stood firm on his values. He wasn't going to let the industry mess with him or try to take his manhood just for the sake of a role. So now, folks are looking at his story with brand new eyes, and the dots are starting to connect. According to Terrence, that's exactly why they let him go, because he wouldn't fold. He said, "My daddy taught me, never take the vertebrae out your back or the base out your throat. I didn't raise no sheep. I raised men. Stay a man." Powerful stuff. He went on to say that being a man in today's world feels like a curse. Society ain't built for real men to flourish anymore, he claimed. Everything's gone androgynous, and the more successful someone is these days, the more effeminate they seem to be. That's the direction he says the industry keeps pushing, and he wasn't having it, but that wasn't the end of it. In another interview, Terrence doubled down. He said there's a full-blown agenda to strip masculinity away from black men specifically. He believes the system sees strong black men as a threat, and that's why they try to soften them up or shut them down. In his own words, the man has been demonized by a new formula. Most men are forced to be effeminate and stripped of their power. He claimed the industry lets white men stay strong and bold, but when a black man walks in with the same energy, suddenly he's too aggressive. Terrence made it clear he's not about to remove a few chromosomes just to fit someone else's script. Instead, he said it's time the industry expanded its stories to let real men be real men, while still respecting and uplifting women at the same time. With all the heat Terrence has been throwing Diddy's way lately, fans are starting to connect the dots, and honestly, it's all beginning to make sense. But hold up, it doesn't stop there. Word on the inside is that Terrence is actually holding back even more explosive info. And from what's being whispered, what he hasn't dropped yet might be way more damaging than what he's already exposed. Now here's where it gets messier. According to 50 Cent, this next level of drama might involve Diddy's so-called side piece, Young Miami. After Terrence's interview started making rounds online, 50 initially said he was going to keep it cute and stay quiet. He posted, "No comment. I'm staying positive. God help us all." But that silence didn't last long, because now he's popping off, saying there's actual footage from one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, and it's not PG. Allegedly, this tape was captured by Terrence himself while attending one of those wild events. And the clip? It supposedly shows Young Miami caught up in some real, unexpected moments. Now, to be real, this isn't all that shocking to folks in the streets. People have been side-eyeing Young Miami for a minute, saying she's way more involved than she's letting on. The rumors swirling around her go way beyond music, and if this footage sees daylight, it's gonna set the internet on fire. There have even been wild rumors flying around about Young Miami being deep in those freak-off scenes, not as a victim, but allegedly as a conspirator. Yeah, the streets are saying she was right there in the mix, helping orchestrate some of it. One incident that really got people talking, when Diddy's other flame, Gina Heen, posted a pic with him, and Miami snapped. Word is, Miami flew into a jealous rage and even threatened to make Diddy force Gina into a freak-off. The alleged messages were nasty. She said, "Gina, you've been down bad ever since I came into the picture. Hope you've been crying for a baby for 15 years. You've been around as a B, just getting that E, P, and D when he felt like it. You and Eater." She kept going, dragging Gina for crying to Tasha K because she couldn't get pregnant. Then she said, "Poor Sushi. You wanted a baby, B? I have a career, ho. You a certified freak. Diddy hasn't even called you since the awards. You're out here talking about getting rid of babies. Let that heartache go, hun." And the wildest line, "If I wanted you to eat me, Diddy would have had you on your knees. You would have ate, B. You a munch. Not a munch, but don't get me started." But it doesn't end there. Miami's name came up again when one of Diddy's other alleged side pieces ended up pregnant. The woman, filing as Jane Doe in court, claimed she was bullied and coerced into taking substances while at Diddy's place. It's in the court documents. According to the court documents, things took a dark turn in July 2022. Jane Doe says she was ordered by Diddy, aka Sean Combs, to fly out to his Los Angeles home. Once there, things got disturbing fast. While inside Diddy's bathroom, she claimed she was forced to take an unknown substance. Later, she found out it may have been ketamine, or something just as heavy. Whatever it was, it made her black out and lose consciousness on and off throughout the night. Jane Doe made it very clear she never agreed to take anything. She didn't consent. But while she was out cold, she says she woke up with bruises all over her body, signs that something had happened while she was unconscious. And that wasn't the only time. She claimed that Diddy would repeatedly make her perform for him, keep her drunk, and feed her substances until she passed out. Then she'd wake up with injuries, marks, and bruises, but no memory of how she got them. And this horrifying pattern allegedly went on until July 2024. At some point, Jane Doe discovered she was pregnant, and that's when things got even worse. According to the lawsuit, Young Miami allegedly started bullying her over the pregnancy, harassing her to the point that Jane Doe suffered a miscarriage. And it didn't stop there. The court docs say that after Jane Doe told Diddy about the positive test, his associate, Korea Brown Lee, began blowing up her phone, pressuring her to get an abortion. She was being hit with calls non-stop, all pushing the same message: terminate the pregnancy. The lawsuit is still ongoing, and if these claims hold up, it's going to shake everything up. After suffering a miscarriage, Jane Doe reportedly went completely silent. No contact with Diddy or anyone on his team for around 3 months. And yes, just to be clear, Korea Brownlee is none other than Young Miami from the City Girls. And honestly, it's not hard to believe she'd go after another woman like that. especially considering how she publicly spiraled when Diddy had a baby with someone else back in 2022. That meltdown was all over the internet. But things take an even darker turn when you bring in Lil Rod's lawsuit. His legal documents made some chilling claims, not just about Diddy, but about Young Miami too. Allegedly, she wasn't just casually attending these wild parties. According to the lawsuit, she was deeply involved, and she allegedly brought family into the mix. Lil Rod claimed that Young Miami wasn't some clueless guest. She was right there, witnessing everything, staying silent through it all. And in one shocking allegation, he called out a specific moment where things crossed a major line. He said during one event, Diddy was intoxicated and offered him cocaine. When Lil Rod turned it down and went to the bathroom, Diddy allegedly had Young Miami's cousin follow him. And what happened next was described as a full-on assault attempt. That cousin allegedly tried to force himself on Lil Rod inside that restroom. And Young Miami, according to him, she saw everything and said nothing. While Lil Rod's claims already had jaws on the floor, what really shook people was the part where he described what happened after the attempted assault. According to him, when he got out of that restroom, disoriented and shaken, no one checked on him. Not Diddy, not security, and definitely not Young Miami. Instead, he claimed they laughed it off, like it was all some kind of sick joke. And the worst part? He said Young Miami looked him in the face and told him to take one for the team. That line hit hard, and had folks online questioning just how deep she really was in this mess. In his updated filings, Lil Rod doubled down, saying Diddy and his circle treated their parties like private playgrounds where nothing was off limits. He described it as a world where power, fame, and control mixed with substances, manipulation, and silence. He also alleged that anyone who stepped out of line or refused to play along faced serious consequences, whether that meant getting iced out of the industry, being publicly shamed, or worse, ending up with legal threats meant to keep their mouths shut. And with Young Miami allegedly helping to keep things under wraps, folks are wondering, was she just Diddy's plus one, or was she actively protecting a whole system? As more details leak out, people are starting to realize this might not just be about Diddy or Young Miami. It's about a whole network of folks who allegedly helped keep things quiet. And the spotlight's turning to those who were always in the background, moving silently while everything went down. Sources close to the situation say that certain assistants, drivers, and even security guards were allegedly instructed to stay quiet or handle things if someone started asking questions. One source claimed that there was even a rotation system, people being moved in and out just so they couldn't piece the full picture together. That level of planning? It's giving cover-up vibes. And now, some of those same people are allegedly cooperating with legal teams. Quietly, behind the scenes. They're handing over texts, voicemails, photos. Stuff no one thought would ever come to light. Word is, a few of these messages mention Young Miami by name, describing her as someone who was closer to the business side than anyone realized. It's painting a whole new picture of her role, not just as Diddy's girl, but as someone who may have been instrumental in keeping certain people in line. And with this many loose ends unraveling, the industry's starting to panic. People who once had all the power are now one leaked screenshot away from public exposure, and the streets are watching every move. With all this pressure closing in, insiders say Diddy's inner circle is falling apart. Folks who were once loyal are now ghosting him, deleting photos, unfollowing accounts, and refusing to answer calls. Some of his longest-running team members are going radio silent, clearly trying to distance themselves before more names get exposed. And guess who's also been keeping real quiet lately? Young Miami. After being all over social media just weeks ago, flexing her usual carefree energy, she's suddenly gone real low-key. No tweets, no IG stories, just silence. Fans noticed fast, and now everyone's wondering if she's lawyering up behind the scenes. Meanwhile, whispers are getting louder about a potential federal investigation. Sources say subpoenas have already started flying out, targeting folks tied to past events, payments, and those parties. There's even talk that authorities might already have some of that freak-off footage that's been rumored for months. And here's the bombshell. A well-placed insider claims that a major celebrity who used to party with Diddy is now working with investigators. They've reportedly handed over private messages, locations, and receipts that link several celebs, not just to the parties, but to what went down during them. The vibe in the industry right now? Pure panic. The NDAs can't hold back federal heat. And if this celeb witness keeps talking, a whole wave of careers might go down with this storm. According to the legal documents, things took a seriously disturbing turn. Young Miami's cousin allegedly burst into the bathroom and started groping Mr. Jones. He believes Diddy sent her in there specifically to assault him. As soon as she walked in, she reportedly dropped to her knees and began performing oral actions on him without his consent. Shocked and violated, Mr. Jones pushed her off and got out of the bathroom. But it didn't stop there. The court docs claim that Miami's cousin wasn't taking no for an answer. She followed Mr. Jones out of the bathroom, started undressing in front of everyone, and even tried to straddle him and initiate sex, right there, in front of Diddy and his staff. No shame, no hesitation, just full-on aggression. And it wasn't an isolated incident. In a separate event, Thanksgiving night, 2022, down in Miami, things reportedly got just as dark. Mr. Jones says Diddy called him and Forrest Taylor into the studio bathroom. There, Diddy asked if they had a $100 bill, not for spending, but so they could allegedly snort coke with him. Jones said he was terrified. Thankfully, he didn't have the bill. But that didn't stop Diddy. Later that same night, the papers claim he went ahead and did nose candy with Young Miami instead. Right there. No shame, no hiding. What's being laid out in these court docs is painting a picture of chaos, control, and straight-up criminal behavior, and it's getting harder to look away. Things just keep getting worse for Young Miami. In the latest court filings, she's being accused of way more than just showing up at Diddy's parties. Mr. Jones alleged that she actively helped Diddy transport substances, and whenever he needed his fix, she allegedly made sure it got to him, no matter where he was. One specific incident, it happened while they were rehearsing for the Something in the Water Festival in Virginia. The docs state that Jones personally saw Diddy snorting lines of coke in his dressing room, and when he wanted more, referred to as Tucci, his assistant Brendan forgot it. So, according to the filing, Christina Coram got involved and had it flown in by none other than Young Miami, straight from Miami. But it doesn't stop there. The court docs also accuse Young Miami of being an S-worker for Diddy, claiming she was on a monthly payroll just for her services. Along with Jade and Daphne Joy, she was allegedly receiving wire transfers through Diddy's team, including Robin Greenhill, pointing to what the documents describe as a full-blown criminal enterprise. Multiple witnesses have come forward tying Young Miami to Diddy's operation, and now 50 Cent is back in the mix. Word is, he allegedly has video evidence of Young Miami caught in 4K, and if there's anyone you don't want holding receipts on you, it's 50. That man is legendary for being both petty and ruthless. And let's not forget, his feud with Diddy's been bubbling for over 20 years. So if 50 really has the tea, he's gonna spill it when it hurts the most. Young Miami better hope those clips stay buried, because the game just got real dirty. At this point, it's only a matter of time before 50 Cent drops that footage and sets everything on fire all over again. If he really has the kind of receipts people are whispering about, the drama's about to explode in a whole new way. But while we wait for that bomb to drop, let's talk about Young Miami. What do y'all think about her getting dragged back into the spotlight, this time because of Terrence Howard's explosive claims? Is she just caught in the chaos, or is there more to her role than she's letting on? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.